Hey everybody, I am back with the third and should be final part of Kate Winslet's movies. So the next movie is Divergent. And honestly, Divergent, I can just say it was okay. It was okay. Kate's character is the antagonist. She's the villain pretty much, trying to go after all the Divergents who are, they don't fit in a certain faction. Divergent is a thrilling action adventure set in a future world where society has been divided into 5 distinct factions, but Triss will never fit into any one group. She is divergent, and what makes her different makes her dangerous. Targeted by a faction leader determined to eliminate all divergence, Triss turns to the one person she believes she can trust, Four, an instructor for the militant Dauntless faction, and a man full of dark secrets. Together, Triss and Four uncover a mind-bending conspiracy that will put their courage to the ultimate test and forever link their destinies. Okay. This has Shailene Woodley, Theo James, Ashley Judd, Jai Courtney, Ray Stevenson, Zoe Kravitz, Miles Teller, Tony Goldwyn, Ansel Elgort, Maggie O, and Kate Winslet. This is a really good movie. I know I said it was okay, but it was entertaining. I'm going to give Divergent a 7. The next one is a little chaos, and okay, Kate's daughter Mia is in it for like 5 seconds, and yeah, it's interesting to say the least. But let's see. Kate Winslet stars in this romantic drama as Sabine, a strong-willed and talented landscape designer who is chosen to build one of the main gardens at the new palace at Versailles in the court of King Louis XIV, Alan Rickman. In her new position of power, she challenges gender and class barriers while also becoming professionally and romantically entangled with the court's renowned landscape artist Andre Lenotre, who is Matthias Schoenaerts. Wow, okay. I don't know that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but that guy right there. So Stanley Tucci is also in it, and I like Stanley Tucci a lot. I can't remember the actress's actual name, but the woman who plays Narcissa Malfoy, she is in this too as his wife. Yes, secrets. Okay, anyway, this is a really good movie, and I like the plot. I like the characters. I think I'm gonna have to give it a 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. The next one is Insurgent, which is the follow-up to Divergent, obviously. Or whatever. Divergent, Divergent, Insurgent. Okay. Basically, Janine is still hunting down the Divergents, and if you've seen the first movie, you know what happens at the end and everything. Triss searches for answers and allies in the star-powered action-packed second adventure from the Divergent series, on the run and targeted by ruthless faction leader Janine. Triss fights to protect the people she loves, facing one impossible challenge after another, as she and Four face to unlock the truth about the past and ultimately the future of their world. Yeah, I enjoyed Insurgent more than I enjoyed Divergent. you really get to see some of the true characters for who they are. You get to see them for who they are. And all I gotta say is her brother. I do not like how it ends. I don't like how this one ends. But I guess that's me just being, biased, whatever. But I'm gonna give Insurgent an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna give Insurgent an 8. But I do not have the third one, Allegiant, because that was just an absolute train wreck of a movie. So you can watch Allegiant, but yeah, I don't know. The third one is just, you didn't get the recommendation from me. So the next one is Steve Jobs. And watching Steve Jobs makes you realize how much of a jerk Steve Jobs was. But the cast in this is awesome. It's Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, Jeff Daniels, and Sarah Snook, who is also in the Dressmaker with Kate. But let's see. Steve Jobs paints an intimate portrait of the brilliant man at the epicenter of digital revolution, backstage in the final minutes before 3 iconic product launches. Basically it's just it's the unfolding of 3 Apple product launches, and kind of shows you just the kind of person he was. He wasn't a very good father or friend. And I'm going to say Joanna really put up a lot from Steven. I think Joanna put up way too much from Steve. So, yeah. But I really liked Seth Rogen's performance and Jeff Daniels. They were really great. So if I have to give Steve Jobs, I have to give it a rating. I'm going to go ahead and give Steve Jobs a 6. It was great acting, great performance. Interesting. Keeps you, keeps you focused on what's going on. You want to know what's going to happen next. What's he going to say next? What's he going to do next? But I'm going to give Steve Jobs a 6. Not because of the acting. The acting was awesome. The acting was awesome. It's just kind of, a one-note movie. The next movie is The Dressmaker. And, okay. I love this movie. I love it. And most of my friends hate it because of something that happens to a beloved character in it. So, I'm not going to give anything away. You just really, 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 really need to watch The Dressmaker. It's awesome. And funny. It's got funny parts. A glamorous, worldly dressmaker returns to her small Australian hometown to seek the truth behind her notorious reputation. Gosh. This dark and quirky comedy stars Kate Winslet as Tilly Dunnage, who cares for her eccentric mother, schemes the local sergeant who has secrets of his own, and falls for local farmer Teddy. As she starts to unravel her scandalous past, she transforms the town's women with her exquisite creations. Armed with only her sewing machine and haute couture style, Okay, if you haven't heard Haute Couture by Manila Luzon, you really should listen to that. It's great. Especially if you're a drag a Drag Race fan, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah. Tilly shows she is a force to be reckoned with and that revenge never goes out of style. This has Kate Winslet, Judy Davis, Liam Hemsworth, Hugo Weaving, and Carolyn Goodall. Also has Sarah Snook in it. There's someone else, but I can't really place who it is. But definitely giving Dressmaker a 9. Giving this a straight up 9. The next one is a bit of a surprise that I just never imagined her being in something like this. But TripleNine. I loved this movie. It was funny and intense, and the plot just, it's just, gosh, it's a lot. Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Am I saying his name? Chiwetel Ejiofor. Aaron Paul, Norman Reedus, Casey Affleck, and Kate Winslet lead an all-star cast in this explosive, action-packed thriller critics call a twisty, terrific ride. A bank robbery is just the tip of the iceberg when 2 cops in Atlanta start suspecting members of their own team are involved. Not knowing who to trust and how deep the corruption goes, time is ticking for them to uncover the truth before they become the target for the next deadly job. This also has Gal Gadot in it, and the girl that plays Casey Affleck's wife, but I really don't recall her name in the moment. So Kate is absolutely ruthless and scary in this movie, and the ending is wild, absolutely wild. I'm going to give TripleNine a 9. This next one is actually a really, really difficult movie. You know, this hit really close to home with us losing Sean. I took a lot of my family members to see it in theaters. They all felt the same way. You know, it hit very close to home. And it's got a pretty big cast too. It's got Will Smith, Edward Norton, Keira Knightley, Michael Pena, Naomi Harris, Jacob Latimore, Kate Winslet, and Helen Mirren. And what it's about is when successful New York ad executive Howard Inlet suffers a personal tragedy and retreats from life, his friends devise a drastic plan to reach him before he loses everything. This thought-provoking drama explores how even the deepest loss can reveal moments of beauty and how the constants of love, time, and death interlock in a life fully lived. So, Collateral Beauty is what it's called. I don't think I said that, but it's heart-wrenching for sure to watch what Howard goes through. You know, because it does hit very close to home. I'm going to give Collateral Beauty a 7. The next one is Mary and the Witch's Flower. It looks like it would be a Studio Ghibli film, but it's actually G-Kids. It's Studio Ponok, which is kind of like a cousin. It's kind of like a cousin company to Ghibli Studios. And it is about a young girl who discovers a flower that grants her magical powers, but only for one night. Mary is an ordinary young girl stuck in the country with her great aunt Charlotte when she discovers an old broomstick and the strange flower that blossoms only once every 7 years. Suddenly, Mary finds herself whisked away to Indoor College, a school of magic run by Madame Mumblechook and the brilliant Dr. D. But the school is not all it seems, and when Mary tells a lie, she must risk her life to try to set things right. Okay, it's got Ruby Barnhill, Kate Winslet, and Jim Broadbent in it. I really don't know who else, but this movie is fun and cute, and I don't know. It's just got, it's a magical movie for sure. So I'm going to give Mary and the Witch's Flower a 7. Only because, you know, I just don't think it can measure up to like Howl's Moving Castle or Ponyo, Pompoko. You know, those are like 3 of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies. So, but this is still a very, very good, cute movie. Give it a watch, Mary and the Witch's Flower. The next one is The Mountain Between Us. And this movie is also wild. And it's kind of like one of those things where you're just like, how did they survive that, you know? I'd have been dead in like a day or 2. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have even survived the crash, to be honest. I read the book before it came out, and I really loved the book. I love the book so much. But there's a lot that they did change up, especially names. So, when a plane they've chartered to beat a storm crashes in a remote mountain area, 2 strangers, Kate Winslet and Idris Elba, must trust each other in order to survive the extreme elements. With little hope of rescue, they begin a perilous journey that will shape the course of their lives. Okay. I was very impressed with this movie. The cinematography is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it stars Kate Winslet, Idris Elba, Dermot Mulroney, and Beau Bridges. I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. I saw it in theaters like twice, I believe. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 because I was just so impressed with the views and everything they went through and how these characters kind of came, you know, these strangers, they came together and found a way. And in most cases, something like that wouldn't have never worked. But honestly, they should have just sat their butts at the airport and not worried about it. It's my opinion. The next one is Wonder Wheel. We're not going to talk about the director because literally he can eat it. He can eat this right here. Okay? He can eat my fist. Wonder Wheel tells the story of 4 characters whose lives intertwine amid the hustle and bustle of the Coney Island amusement park in the 1950s. Jenny, a melancholy, emotionally volatile former actress now working as a waitress in a clam house. Humpty, Jenny's rough-hewn carousel operator husband. Mickey, a handsome young lifeguard who dreams of becoming a playwright. And Carolina, Humpty's long estranged daughter who is now hiding out from gangsters at her father's apartment. It's a dramatic tale of passion, violence, and betrayal that plays out against the picturesque tableau of 1950s Coney Island. And I must say, I absolutely love Kate, but her character is very unlikable. Actually, all of the characters are very unlikable. Every single one of them. They are all just poopy people. Very, very poopy. They're all poopy. The acting was great. It was entertaining, I must say. I'm going to give Wonder Wheel a 6. The next one is Blackbird. And this one also hit very close to home. Because around the time it came out was around the time we found out about my mom's cancer. And I don't think I actually got to watch it until after my mom passed. But Lily and Paul summon their loved ones to their beach house for one final gathering after Lily decides to end her long battle with ALS. The couple is planning a loving weekend complete with holiday traditions, but the mood becomes strained when unresolved issues surface between Lily and her daughters Jennifer and Anna. Joining the collective farewell are Lily's son-in-law, her lifelong friend, daughter's partner, and grandson. Her story is ultimately one of hope, love, and celebration of life. But but it stars Susan Sarandon, Kate Winslet, Mia Wasikowska, Lindsay Duncan, Rainn Wilson, Bex Taylor Klaus, and Sam Neill. It's a beautiful movie. Very beautiful, very touching. Makes you kind of realize that you need to forgive. Of course, don't forget, but you really need to forgive and work on relationships with people you love before it's too late. And I gotta say, I'm gonna give Blackbird a 9. Because it's just, there's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a heavy movie, but it's also funny in parts and very real, and just, you just feel for Lily the whole time. You just kind of want to wrap your arms around her and not let her go, But this movie is about having to let go and how to deal with it. So, yeah. Blackbird, kids, a 9. And also another fun fact is they shot this at Kate's neighbor's house, which was, right basically next door to hers, where she lives. So I thought that was a really cool little touch. Even though it's supposed to be set in, like, I don't know, Maine or Connecticut or some mess like that. I don't know. The next movie is, this is the most recent movie of hers that has been released, and it is Ammonite. And I absolutely love Ammonite, and maybe I am a little biased because, Kate Winslet, a lesbian, dinosaurs, like, it's cool, it's really cool. But it is kind of a solemn movie. Kind of not a lot of dialogue. It's more visual, and you can feel their love blossoming through, glances and touches, and it's so beautiful to watch unfold. But in 1800s England, acclaimed but unrecognized fossil hunter Mary Anning works alone on the rugged southern coastline. With the days of her famed discoveries behind her, she now searches for common fossils to sell to tourists to support herself and her ailing mother. When a wealthy visitor entrusts Mary with the care of his wife, Charlotte Murchison, she cannot afford to turn his offer down. Proud and relentlessly passionate about her work, Mary initially clashes with her unwelcome guest, but despite the distance between their social class and personalities, an intense bond begins to develop, compelling the two women to determine the true nature of their relationship. And this is a really good cast as well. It's got Kate Winslet, Saoirse Ronan, Gemma Jones, who was Kate's mom in Sense and Sensibility. James McArdle, which was in Mayor of Easttown. He was the priest that was really, that they suspected might have been the murderer at one point. And Fiona Shaw, who is Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter and is actually gay in real life, which is really cool. But a lot of people gave this movie a lot of crap because they were like, Mary Anning wasn't gay. First off, nobody knows, because there was no real documentation of her really ever having a lover. But she did have a very close friend who was Charlotte. So this isn't supposed to be a, real life story or anything. It's just a different take on a real person, basically. So I definitely have to give this movie a 10. No. Yeah, no, I'm going to give this movie a 10. I don't care. I'm giving it a 10. It's getting a 10. But it is directed by Francis Lee, who is a gay man. And he also directed God's Own Country. I have not seen it, but I really want to see it. So, Ammonite is getting a 10. This'n is not a movie. It is a HBO Max limited series. Well, basically a mini series. But they're talking about making a second season. It would be so awesome. So awesome. I'd be all for it. Apparently so is the entire cast. They're like all for it. But they're like, we don't know what we would do with the plot. We have some ideas. We're just, shooting out ideas right now. And I don't think that they can really do anything about it until everybody else's schedules, like, match up, I guess. So, as life crumbles around her, the sole detective in a small Pennsylvania town investigates the murder of a teen in this riveting, suspenseful original limited series. Kate Winslet has created an iconic character in Detective Mare Sheehan, a worn-down, brutally honest, beer-swilling local basketball legend who must cope with the loss of her son while dealing with her nosy mother, rebellious teenage daughter, and grandson at home, and an ex-husband who lives a stone's throw away with his new fiancée. Just as the case of a missing young girl has grown cold, the murder of a teen adds immense pressure on Mare to find the killer in a town where everyone is a potential suspect. And Mare is my comfort character. I love Mare. Mare is just so real. When I am watching Mare, I am not seeing Kate, I am seeing Mare. And also I'm just looking at this character and like, how is she not gay? She is so gay. But, you really want her to be with this one guy. But I'm not going to give anything away. Just don't get your hopes up. That's all I got to say. But the cast is huge on this thing. I don't even think it has the cast on here. But I know it's got Kate Winslet, Gene Smart, Evan Peters, Andrew Rice, David Denman, like I said, what's that one guy from Ammonite? James McArdle. Yeah, that one guy. Man. Okay. And also, what is her name? The woman that plays Lori. Why can I not think of her name right now? I cannot think of the actress who plays Lori's name. But fun fact, she is Kate's son Joe's godmother, which was pretty interesting. So I give Mare of Easttown a 10, straight up. Like, this is top tier TV right here, you guys. And I would freaking eat an entire poison ivy plant just for them to, like, make a second season. Like, I'll eat that poison ivy plant. Come on, give me season 2. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this series. Sadly, it's over now, but I will definitely be doing another series on movies, probably like favorite movies. I also might do like different actor or actress like groups. I'm not going to do all of their movies because I'm not into other people's entire movie collection like I am Kate's, because, you know, I've been such a big fan since I was like 7. Well, what is that, like 40 years ago? But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you come back, and I hope you have a great day.